What's up, everybody? This is Darren and Jessica Salkis coming at you from Next Level Transformational Coaching. We are here to present to you for the powerful secrets of enormous growth on this wellness summit. So thank you for being here and joining us today. Thank you for the gift of time. We are here to share with you some of our knowledge and our experience. And what we're going to be talking about is the SME of me, the subject matter expert of me, of ourselves, of you. How do we learn? And we got our cat chilling around, coming in the video here now and then. You're going to see, but that's what this is all about. You can see we're in a laid back situation right here. We're comfortable, and that's what we think life should be. In a sense, being comfortable, giving yourself the best ability to absorb and to learn and to take in this education and knowledge that we're going to share with you today. Be in a nice, comfortable position.
So we are going to talk about, like Darren said, the SME of me. And so what we want to first talk about is who we are and why did we get into wellness? So you want to start?
The reason we got into wellness, I mean, really it started for me as I was a child, a little lad. My parents have always been into physical fitness. My dad was into weightlifting and bodybuilding. I played sports coming up through school and college and stuff like that. And then just going through that situation, that it's always been a part of who I am. As you would say, it's a part of my identity. Somebody would say, how would you explain Darren? What would you use to identify him? Definitely somebody that moves, somebody that exercises, that likes to go outside and do things. That has just been part of my identity. And wellness, where I've really come now in this factor of my life of wellness and overall well-being, is now becoming, again, that subject matter expert of myself, of putting on a research and a lab coat and collecting data, seeing what types of meal plans work for me, what types of movement work for me, what brings me to that best version of myself to keep myself moving forward.
So for me, wellness has always been a part of my life too. It's been part of my identity. I was lucky to have a family that wanted to teach me about wellness, the holistic parts of it, the affirmations, meditation, all those wonderful things that help with that mental awareness and mental wellness. And so we both have always been involved in physical activity and physical fitness, like Darren is a personal trainer, and we are both life and wellness coaches. And so we really wanted to talk about the SME of me today because we want you to be the subject matter expert of yourself. This is a lifelong journey. How many of you guys have a thought of a potential purpose or an idea of something or an identity that you want to be? How many of you actually know what you are capable of being? We talk about all the time about closing that gap to who we are now, to who we are potentially could be. And so that part of it, that potential being, that capable being, we want to start back at the beginning where we're going to talk about, hey, let's help you figure out who you're actually capable of being. What is your potential? What is your purpose? There's a lot of people that we've just been going through life in a numb stage of being mindless, and we're not focusing on what we need to do or what we need to be so that we can be the subject matter expert of ourselves. We focus so much on the external of, I'm a subject matter expert or a SME of something at my work. I'm a subject matter expert of something externally outside of me. So let's bring that back. This is what's been missing in these wellness conversations. Let's bring it back. Let's share our powerful secrets of enormous growth with you so that you can grow, you can gain purpose, you can hit your targets and be the person that you want to be, your highest self. So let's get started talking about what we like to do to help develop, to help identify what the SME of me would look like.
Yeah, and I would even say just, what you guys are doing right now by attending this wellness summit is something that you guys are doing for yourself right now to actually become that subject matter expert of yourself, to learn these techniques, to take some tools that you're going to hear from all of these individuals that are speaking at this wellness summit. There's going to be things that you're going to be able to grab. Are you going to grab all of these and use all these tools? No, but there's going to be some tools that you're going to like, you know what? That speaks to me. Let me utilize that. Let me get a little bit more information into that. So definitely take good notes during this process. Take good notes that Jessica and I are going to share with you, and also with the other individuals that you're going to hear from, so they can share their experience. And so as we go into this, the first tool that we have utilized into our life is journaling. And journaling it's difficult. It's something that is, one, you got to take time. You got to sit down. You got to get your book. You got to get your journal, and you got to start writing stuff about what? About you. About, again, how do you become the subject matter expert of yourself if you are not writing down, collecting data on how your day went that day? So this is where, again, we even talk about putting on that lab coat and be a researcher. And what you're going to do is you're going to be doing research on yourself. What went well today? What are my wins? This is another area of a big process of wellness. Is we do great at beating ourselves up. We do great at being negative. We do great at having that negative self-talk. About how often do we show up and compliment ourselves? How often, when we get done doing something, we say, yes, I nailed that. I did good. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. How often do we just give ourselves the credit for the win when we show up? So this is the area where journaling can come in. We can reflect on our day, what went well, and write those things down. Wow, I did awesome today. Give gratitude. Gratitude is another area that we're going to be talking about, and this gratitude shows up in the journaling portion of it. That you can give thanks. That we want to be taking things not taking things for granted, but taking things as granted. Taking individuals as granted. Conversations that we've had with somebody, being present, and that's what journaling is. It's being present with yourself, having to reflect on your day. Oh, there's my timer.
We're gonna move.
I do a 30-minute timer that I set every day when I wake up in the morning. Every 30 minutes it goes off, and it just reminds me to get up and move my body. If I've been in a position for long periods of time, stretch. If I have a drink of water, I have my water. I take a drink of water, and then also
a nice breath, which we'll talk about here in a few moments.
Nice
also.
Deep breath.
So as you're watching this summit, make sure you're doing some movement too. And I want to add on to some journaling that Darren touched on also, because I want to talk about the where, the why, the when, the what. What are you journaling? When people say journaling, that is probably one of the most resistant topics that I seem to get when we're working with clients is like, hey, journal, like I don't want to. And you know what? It's a little scary, and because we're journaling about ourselves. So what we challenge you is just to start simple and easy. All you need is a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil, a crayon, a marker, whatever you want to write with, and get a timer so you can just maybe say, hey, I'm going to write for 30 seconds. I am going to journal for 1 minute, and increase that as you go. And the cool part about that is it can be super simple and easy, and then just free write. Write whatever comes to your mind. You will be amazed that, it will make sense to you later after you go back and read it. And try that several times where you're just writing down free thoughts. It's called free journaling, free writing, and you're just allowing the thoughts to come out. It might be about you, it might not be about you, but as you continually do this, you can become more focused on really what you want to journal about. Darren talked about gratitude. Darren talked about wins and celebration, right? Darren talked about what went well. And let's write down our obstacles of the day too. And how are we going to overcome them? We know there's obstacles. That's the way of life. So how are we going to plan for them? We'll talk about that a little later. The other suggestion is pick a time of day, either in the morning or in the evening, because you have most control of those 2 times of the day that you're actually going to journal for 30 seconds, for 1 minute. And then next week, up it to 2 minutes until you decide, hey, this is good enough. I'm really learning a lot about myself. And the other part about journaling is it's not just about writing it down, reflecting and processing. It's about going back and really doing that true deep work reflection. Read what you wrote. I get the chills when I say that because I need to remind myself to go back and read what you wrote. When we went to Europe on our honeymoon, we brought journals and we were like, hey, we got to journal every day. And you know what? We need to go back and read all of the things that we wrote, because it's going to share some enlightenment about who we are, what's important to us, what our strengths are, what our purpose is. So that's a huge component of that piece of it. Is there anything else that you want to share about journaling as a tool?
Yeah, and just to talk about the time frame, right? This is one thing that we share with our clients, that we find that our clients have a lot of success with this. We talk about floors and ceilings. So Jessica talked about that 30 seconds. That could be your floor. That floor is that bare minimum of what you're going to set for yourself. Here's what my minimum goal is today. 30 seconds of journaling. My ceiling is going to be 5 minutes, or you can set your ceiling at ever what you think is obtainable. But again, make it super simple, make it easy. This doesn't have to be a chore. We should not be going into this like, man, I have to journal. Like, no, I get to journal. This is what I get to do. I get to reflect on my day. And one other last thing I want to share with you is that we go through this process of celebrating our wins. We can also look at maybe things that we do well. We use an acronym that we share a lot with individuals called FAIL, F-A-I-L, faithful attempts in learning. None of us ever wake up in the morning saying, okay, what am I going to fail at today, right? We go out in the morning trying to be the best version of ourselves, and sometimes we don't always get to hit that home run. Sometimes we don't always throw that winning touchdown. We might throw that interception. We might strike out. That's okay. We can't hit the home run if we're not willing to take that bat and swing and miss sometimes.
Right.
But the goal is to get out there and do it and make the effort, and we're going to learn from it so we become better. So think about those floors and the ceilings. That's one thing that you can take away from this. The floors and the ceilings, and the acronym FAIL, faithful attempts in learning.
Yeah.
Jess, want to talk about strengths?
I do want to talk about strengths. And as we talk about strengths, I want to bring it back to our setting just one more time, because we want to talk about where are you going to do this? The how, what, when, where, who type thing. Who's doing it? You, right? The where. Find a space that is comfortable to you. We've created this nice space with pillows, and we have our diffuser with our essential oils. We have, our cat comes and goes as he pleases. We have our greenery, our plants. We have comfiness, right? This is comfortable. It's a safe setting for us. We can journal here. We can meditate here. We can come here and stretch. We can come here and do our movement. So create a space that you really, truly want to go to. You can journal anywhere, in your car, anywhere, but also have a favorite chair, have a favorite space, have a favorite spot that you feel really good. It might be in your bed even, which is totally fine, because at the end of the day, maybe that's the best time for you to journal. Maybe in the morning when you wake up, have that journal, that piece of paper. You don't need anything fancy at all. Have that sitting there that you will see it. Don't hide it somewhere where you're never going to see it again and it's like out of sight, out of mind. Put it somewhere where you're going to see it, and have a safe space. So as we talk about strength is that other component that is going to build on you becoming the SME of me. How can you be the SME of you without knowing your strengths? I mean, we can ask our friends, we can ask our families. That's a great tool too. Send out an email and say, hey, I'm working on something. I'm doing some deep work. Can you give me 3 top strengths of mine, and maybe 3 areas that I have for improvement? People that you trust and love and adore that are going to be honest with you. Great way to start. Or you can go to viacharacter.org. Free, completely free. We're not affiliated with it at all, but viacharacter.org, and take a free survey of your 24 virtues, your strengths, your character. VIA means virtues in action. And that's such a cool VIA, virtues in action, because the goal is to understand your strengths so that you can support being the SME of me. You can support your purpose. You can support your target and what you want to do in life. So we have taken that. It's something that we reflect back on frequently. I'll just tell you my number 1 is love of learning. My number 1 is love of learning. What is your number 1?
Honesty.
Honesty. So how can we utilize love of learning and honesty to identify who we truly are? How can we be the subject matter expert of ourselves by knowing our strengths? And so what this survey will give you is, it'll give you your 1 through 24 in a free profile report, and it's going to pop up right away giving your top 5 strengths. So write those down, print it out, whatever you need to do. Hang it up on a tack board, put it in the bathroom on the mirror, stick it on your fridge, put it in your journal and planner, and look at it daily. And remind yourself when you're journaling and put it in your journal that these are my strengths. And how are my strengths going to support my targets, my goals, being the SME of me?
I like it. I mean, that's the biggest thing is going, understanding what those virtues are, and even getting a better understanding of yourself, becoming that subject matter expert of yourself. And the best way to do that is to know your strengths, know why you might act in certain ways. One of the things when I first did this, my number 2 virtue is appreciation for beauty and excellence. Which when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. Because when I'm out there, when we're, no matter where we're at, when we are out doing exercise or we're just going for a walk or we're driving someplace or even we're in a building, I'm always paying attention to my surroundings and picking out the architecture or the paintings or way somebody designed something. Like I appreciate that and I bring that in. And now to recognize that that's my number 2 virtue is like, oh, no wonder.
Yeah.
That's why I pay attention to these so much. So when I do go out and we do exercise or go for a walk, or again, we set up our own little self-care area, which again, I'm glad that Jessica brought that forward, because we have the area that we go watch TV. We have that area that we go and have dinner and we eat our food. We have the area that we go to the restroom where we go to sleep. Why don't we have a self-care area? So when we go to that area, we know that area is defined for us for self-care. And that's, again, what Jessica was saying, that safe place. So check out BIA Character Strength. It's a great tool. I've learned something about yourself. Do it with a friend, do it with a spouse.
Yeah, sure.
Learn about each other and then see how you can utilize those 5 strengths and utilize them into your life. And you're not going to find another person with those same 5 character strengths. They're specific to you. Yeah, that's the great, there's the number of combinations of these strengths that there's so many different ones that they're specific to you. So that's pretty cool that you get to identify, wow, this is who I am.
And the part that I really want to emphasize on is that you're focusing on your strengths. Yes, you're going to get a list of 24 and you're going to look down and go, oh, wow, the bottom 5, those are my weaknesses. And we've been ingrained to focus on how do we bring those weaknesses up to being more of a strength. And what we're saying is identify what they are. Know what your weaknesses are. Because as we build our strengths though, and we truly actually get in tune with our strengths, our weaknesses are going to be uplifted also. So just remember that. Don't worry about your weaknesses. We all have them. You do, I do. We are human. That is just the reality of the situation. We are human. So make sure that we're focusing on those strengths. So just a little teeny recap. We're going to do a little snippet on some other just a basic fundamental and give you a little insight on to how you can learn more about reaching out to us. So we're talking about the SME of me, subject matter expert of me, and journaling. Where you're going to do it, how you're going to do it. Darren talked about ceilings and floors. We talked about intention and gratitude and celebration, right? And talking about your obstacles and writing them down and how are you going to overcome them. This journal, this piece of paper, whatever you would like it to be, is yours. Go back, reflect, and look at it and learn from yourself. You're teaching yourself, you're educating yourself. You put that lab coat on that Darren talked about. You are researching who you are. What is your meaning? What is your purpose? What are you a subject matter expert of? Boom, ourselves. So we wanted to share one other component for you also. This is something that you can include into your journaling, but it is a basic fundamental. We could go on about fundamentals for days, but we're just going to focus on one thing because we offer a free live Mondays at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on our Next Level Transformational Coaching group on Facebook, a flow breath meditation. And this is another place where we can become and get enlightened on how we are the subject matter experts of ourselves because of the intention, right? The liberation. Meditation is for liberation of knowing yourself, your highest self, and in creating these foundations that we build where you can be present. Darren talked about being present, self-aware. And again, I'm going to say it, intention, mindful intention. There is no wrong way to breathe. Well, I'm going to say there's no wrong way to meditate. There are definitely better ways to breathe, and our body needs flow. So join us live, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on our actual Next Level Transformational Coaching Group on Facebook. And you want to share anything about your experience with meditation or anything why it's beneficial in knowing the SME of you?
Yeah, just the meditation wasn't something I practiced very often. Now I made sure that my floor is 1 minute, that I get 1 minute just to take time to breathe and just to focus on myself and how do I want to take on the day. And a lot of times what I do when I'm driving someplace, I'm going to work and I'm doing personal training or doing some coaching one-on-one, no matter where I'm going to my work, before I enter that building or even when I get home, before I enter their house, I take 1 minute and I work on breathing. I just take box breathing in for 5, holding for 5, exhaling for 5, holding for 5, and repeating. And what I do is I just clear myself of any frustrations that I might have had as I'm driving home in traffic or hitting stoplights or one thing after another.
Mm-hmm.
I also have taken up the tool of when I hit a red light, instead of being frustrated with that red light, I go ahead and take that moment to breathe and I thank that red light to say, thank you, red light, for giving me this opportunity or the reminder to stop and breathe. So now I don't look at those red lights as negative. I look at those red lights as positive, because that red light gives me an opportunity to stop and breathe and clear my mind and not be frustrated. So think about that and that mindfulness of the breathing and the meditation. How can you incorporate that into your practice? And again, the floor, 1 minute, just take a moment to breathe and use that time before you go into your place of business, or I would say your home. Let's bring in the peace into your home. Let's bring that in with you versus the anxiousness. The last topic I think we want to talk about when we talk about topic, we are going to talk about TOP, T-O-P. And what does TOP stand for?
TOP stands for basically your target, right? The O is your obstacles and the P is your plan. So we're just giving you a little snippet of this, a sneak peek, because we want you to reach out to us for more information. And this is another tool that is an extension of your journaling. Once you get that down, then this is how we take it to the next level. So we'll talk briefly about that and just that. Hey, do you want to get on top of your life? Why? What are you really wanting? What is your purpose? So to top of profession, your job, your personal life, your relationships, your friendships, your self-care, right? Maybe it's just you want to be, your target is being the SME of me. And what a great place to start. So that's where we write down, hey, my target is being the subject matter expert of myself. And what are the obstacles? You're going to write down the obstacles of what will potentially occur. We need to know our obstacles. Obstacles are the way. They are going to happen. And how are we going to get around them? Which is the P, is the plan. You're going to write a step-by-step plan, very simple, very small, very easy. What you're going to do step by step to achieve your target so you can get on top. So we want to just give you a little snippet of that. We're going to share with you our Facebook pages or Instagrams. It's going to be on the link. We have a podcast called Next Level Good Vibes Only, and that's all on your major platforms. So you can check us out there. We've been talking about fundamentals, kindness, strengths, hero's journey, all of those fun things. And then our offers for you is that we want to offer you a 30-minute consultation. We also are offering 8 sessions or 3 months for a $200 discount. And we also can incorporate personal training into that too, if you're looking to take your fitness to the next level. And then we also have a 12-week nutritional program that we do remotely, and you get a tons of support and you get a $50 discount for that. And that is offered 3 times a year. So if you would like more information from us, if you want to reach out to us, we are going to be, we have 2 Facebook. We have a group, which is the Next Level Transformational Coaching Group. We have a Facebook page, which is Next Level Coaching. And then we have the Instagram that is Next Level PNW, which means Pacific Northwest. We have our webpage, which is nextleveltransformationalcoaching.com. And if you want to reach out to us also for more information, please email us at nextleveltcoaching@gmail.com. Any final words before we wrap it up?
No, just take these powerful secrets of enormous growth.
Yes.
Take them and utilize them to the best version of yourself. And let's think about how do we move forward in life. We kind of always think about our profession and areas that we want to work in, but how often do we just stop and take a moment and say, wait a minute, what about me? What can I do to bring the best version of myself forward so I can show up as the best version of myself, so I can give myself and those others, the individuals that I work with, the best opportunity to help them grow.
right.
So that's what these powerful secrets are all about. So thank you for the gift of time
Yeah.
that you have given us to watch this video. We hope that there's something that you took from this that you're going to be able to utilize towards your life. And we just want to say again, thank you, and we appreciate it, and we take you as granted. So thank you.
Yes, let's take it to the next level and become the SME of me.
Yeah. See ya.